Hello. Hello, everyone. Hello, nobody. Where am I looking? Where's the camera on this thing? Where's the camera? It's there. Hello. Hello. Testy, testy. Testing. 1, 2, 3. There's nobody here. What's this? Where would I get the mint green Hoover Turbo Pan original box? Oh, crikey. Some folk. Oh, hello. I've got some folks. This is going to be my... Where's the camera on this? Is it there? There, I think. This is going to be my last will and testicle. No, I'm a bit better, but still dying. Still got a cough, if you're interested, folks. I'm just doing a quick doodah. I'm testing out my new... I've treated myself to a new telephone. And I've never streamed live on anything but my iPad. And I thought I would have a go on my new iPhone. It's not top of the range one. It's... what is it? An 8 Plus, I think it is. I'm getting myself an Apple Watch as well for the first time. Tomorrow it should be arriving, so that'll be interesting. Anyway, yeah, I'm still here. I'm still alive. I'm still not well. I've been ill for a long time. Still got a cough. It's nearly gone, but now I think I've either cracked a rib or I've sprained something because it's very painful when I cough. So I thought I'd do a final video because, I could die in my sleep. Who knows? It's very raw, this, so it's a bit close. Yeah, if I go too far away, you can see some mess. Mess! Look what I'm sharing my bedroom with. Oh, dear. I can't see. Where's your comments? How's the dogs? Garrett says. They're fine. They're downstairs. Hello, Becco Mad. Hello, Abir. Hello, Audrey. Oh, I've just said what phone I've got, so you should have heard that. Hello, UK trains. Oh, you see, it's no good on the phone, really, is it? You can... Well, I wonder if I can see myself on the iPad. Could I look at... That would be better, wouldn't it? If I look at your comments down here, and then I can respond to some of the things you've been saying. Because I haven't responded properly, have I? I've got out of the habit of responding to comments. I've just started doing it again on my other channel, so I've sort of gone back through a few of the older comments and started answering them. So I need to really get in the habit of getting back into doing that properly. But I do read all the comments. Hang on, I'm on Facebook. I don't want Facebook. Oh, I can hear Mark. Mark now has got a cold. We had a lovely trip in London. I'll do a little video. I did take my video camera, ended up not using it. I did do a little bit of videoing on my new phone and also took some photos. So I'll just do a sort of a chatty video and show you the photos of London as I'm chatting, and little bits of video. Didn't do much. It was a quite short trip to London, but it's really, really enjoyable. Went to the Science Museum to look at vacuum cleaners and washing machines and things. Went to the theatre, saw a really funny play. Went to the ABBA exhibition to the O2. Went to a lovely vegan/vegetarian restaurant. I saw 3 famous people: Howard from Take That, and you might not know who these people are if you're not in the UK, but the Hairy Bikers. They're not as hairy as they claim, and they weren't biking. They were towing suitcases on wheels behind them on the other side of the street. Right, let's have a look. If I can go into my iPad. My hand's going to hurt. I should have put this on a tripod or something. Roger, you should know what you're doing by now, honestly. There we are. I want Roger's Bits and Doings. If you don't know where that name comes from, Roger's Bits and Doings, it's from a Victoria Wood sketch. And there was a shop featured. Victoria Wood actually didn't feature in the sketch, but there was this sketch set in old Yorkshire, sort of turn of the century, early 1900s Yorkshire or whatever. In and a posh lady goes into a typical shop of the time and gives the woman behind the counter a list of things she wants, including a bicycle, a dolly tub, a wrap over pinny, I think. That's like an apron. Anyway, the shop was called, was it? Oh, well, it was somebody's Bits and Doings. I should know. Was it Winnie's Bits and Doings? Anyway, that's where I got it from. Oh, look, there we are, live now. Oh, gosh. I better turn the volume down because there's going to be a doobry. All right, that's better. That's better. I can now see all your all your comments. I don't have to look at myself. That's great. UK train spotting and gaming. How is your AEG going? What AEG? The washer or the dryer? Well, they're both going fine. I did have a problem with the washer because it wasn't draining. It was taking forever to drain, and I thought, oh, and I emptied out the filter thing at the bottom, and anyway, it turned out that the last time I pulled the washer out for cleaning, I trapped the drain hose, so it was, trying to. It was like, if you know the analogy, it's like when you're an older man and you have prostate problems, and you. Well, I don't know this because I have no problem peeing, but as you get older, you can have problem peeing, and so you want to go, but it comes out as a tiny little stream. That's how the washer was emptying. But anyway, I managed to it was all squashed. So it's working fine. So I do like it. I like the dryer, but I am hankering for a new washer. But I think I'll wait for that. It will be a Miele, if you want to know. It will be a Miele with the Auto DOS or DOS, however they pronounce it. What video is next on Bits and Doings? Well, probably this one, or probably the London trip. But I've got absolutely tons of old videos I need to upload on that one. I definitely deserve a new phone, do I? Oh, I can't read that. Joptimal Industries. Well, I've never had a new iPhone. My first mobile phones were like Nokia's, and then I bought some Motorola thing, which I hardly used because I couldn't get used to it. I'm used to using Apple stuff, and not because I'm an Apple fanboy, because I've always had Apple products. Because my eldest brother, who's very geeky, he won't be watching. He won't mind me saying, but he's very into computers, and he has been for many years, and he started me off on Apple products. Where is the camera? Is that it or is that it? Sorry if I'm not looking at you in the eye, because I just don't know where. I think it's there. Anyway, so I used to get my brother's hand-me-downs computer-wise, so I got sort of into the Apple ecosystem. So when I try using something that isn't Apple, I just can't do it. So my mum gave me an old iPhone of hers, very basic, something S. 5S, is it? I don't know what it was. But anyway, it wasn't holding its charge. It's tiny. And I thought, oh, I'll get a new one because I wanted to be able to video in 4K and take better photos. I didn't want to spend silly money. So I compromised and got the 8 Plus. And I wanted the Plus because it's a much bigger. It's easier for me to see the screen, you see. I'm not reading your comments on this. I need to look on here. Right. Hello, Daz. Abir, will we get any updates at your mum's? Not in the near future. Nothing much has happened at my mum's. She's got a new kitchen floor. That's about all that's changed, I think. Oh, and new handles on all the doors. That's exciting. Mr. Comic wants more chatty vids. Well, here's a chatty vid. Chatting, I'm just bored. Right, I've done Howie. No, I'm not flooded out, Glyn R. If my house was ever to flood, it would be a catastrophic disaster on a national scale. I do live at, I mean, it does flood near us. I live sort of in a valley, but fortunately, I live sort of not in the bottom of the valley where you could flood. I live sort of quite high up. So if my house was ever to flood, it would mean everything below me would be, the houses would be flooded, you know, they would disappear underwater. So the garden looks like I mean, basically, you could have mud wrestling matches on my lawn at the moment. There's hardly any grass, but it will recover because it happens all the time. Every winter, autumn, winter, the grass just goes absolutely. But it soon recovers. I feed it and put extra grass seed on. So in a few months, I'll be sat out there in the sunshine, fingers crossed, admiring a lovely lush lawn. Um, Jake, Ali. Hi, Roger. How are you? And what have you been doing today? How's your new front room carpet? Well, I've been at work. Um, and when I came home from work, I've basically been lying on the sofa and dozing. So yeah, it's been very taxing. Living room carpet, yes. It's been vacuumed a few times. Some vacuums don't work very well on it, but I've made a video showing you a selection of vacuums. I put a picture on my Instagram and Facebook of the vacuums I'm using in the video. So that's quite an interesting thing. So every vacuum I get new, I can see, oh, is it going to work? And some vacuums would not work at all on my new living room carpet, including some very, very expensive vacuum cleaners, completely useless. But it's a much plusher, longer pile than I was expecting. It didn't look, when you choose carpets on those samples, it didn't seem, I wanted a carpet that, had a bit of a pile to it and you could see where you vacuumed. But this one, it shows every mark. I don't mind it. Once all the furniture went back, it's nice, but I'm just waiting for Daisy to do her first pee on it. She hasn't so far. Apparently she's done 2 poos on it, but she hasn't weed. But anyway, I've obviously got various products at hand to deal with any wee. Right. UK train spotting and gaming. My Hotpoint Aquarius, I won't bother reading the model, is going strong still after 8 years. I used to have a Bosch Classics, but that had a fault. Well, I certainly wouldn't buy a Hotpoint or Indesit or Whirlpool these days. Hotpoint used to be made in Wales, I think, like Hoover's. Tommy Williams, I love your channel and all videos. Keep them up. Thank you, Tommy. Garrett says, when I'm sick, I take these tablets that you dissolve in water called Alka-Seltzer plus cold. Well, I've heard of Alka-Seltzer. I'm not having to take any pills anymore, or Mark's had it worse than me. He's got it worse now. I'm surprised it took him so long to catch the cold. Well, it's more, I don't know what it was. It's not like any cold I've ever had. It's gone on for ages. I'm still not 100%. And again, the only thing I've got now is a bit of a cough and a very sore side here. You can see, look, there's vacuums behind me. Look, I'm not showing you too much because it's a bit of a mess. Let's see. Fun fact, says Abia. Michael Jackson was due to perform at the O2 before he died. He died only 2 weeks from the first concert. It's quite big, the O2. Didn't know it was going to be as big as that. UK train spotting and gaming. My mum replaced a Miele vacuum with a Vaxair cordless. Ooh, no comment. Getting a nice, I'm getting a nice new, well, not new, but a vintage Miele. I won that auction with a power head. In fact, it's very similar. If you know my other channel, it's very similar to the one that blew up. So I'm hoping that I will be able to look at the new one that works and compare it with a blown up one and see if I can fix the blown up one. Lots of ideas from my other channel when I've got the energy and I feel better. Oops, no, where's your comments? Chandler123 as what? Oh, hang on, I've skipped too far. Hang on. Oh, here we go. Chandler123 has an iPhone XR in blue. Yeah, I looked at all the other iPhones. I looked at them all, but I just thought I don't want to spend over £1,000 on a phone. I mean, even this one was over 500, which is a silly amount of money, but you know, I like Apple stuff. Um, I liked Apple stuff before the company was really popular. They were almost going bankrupt when I was into Apple stuff. I had one of the very early iPods. Well, my brother, who had everything Apple, he even had, only Apple fans will probably know about this. He had the first Apple digital camera. In fact, I got it off him and I sold it. I should have kept it. Oh, it was awful though. I think the quality of the print was appalling, but it was one of the earliest digital cameras. Massive thing it was. I can't remember what it was called. Somebody might tell me in the comments. I've still got all my iPods I've had. Um, I still use iPod Classic. I've got Nanos and the Shuffle, several different Nanos. Lots of yeah. Just like I like the Apple stuff. I'm used to Apple stuff. I can't go to anything else now. Can't learn new things. Um, don't know how many folk are watching anyway. 31. Gosh, 31 people. Have you nothing better to do? Well, there's an out in nothing on the television. Not here anyway. Um, can I do more food hauls? Well, I might. There is one that I filmed a while ago for Mercado, which includes a Hoover iron I bought. I just have to edit that. Da-da. Jake, Ali, what dishwasher would you recommend? As I have an 80s brown and white Hot Point Deluxe and still works till this day. The economy wash only take 1 hour compared to 3 hour 30. Well, I think Bosch are okay. I mean, that Hot Point one you've got, I think, is a Bosch because we had a Hot Point one in the 80s and it was made by Bosch. Um, I would probably go for Miele myself, but one thing I would not do without, dishwasher wise now, I'm used to having a dishwasher with this feature, is the cutlery tray at the top. I could not go back. I know, so, oh yes, I couldn't. My life isn't worth living if I had to have a dishwasher with a cutlery tray at the bottom. Ooh. No, once you've had a dishwasher that's got a drawer at the top for the cutlery that you can lay the cutlery out, you can sort the cutlery before it's washed. Have all the knives together, all the forks together, all the spoons. If you're OCD, it's ideal. Um, but that for me is a feature I would never want to be without. With a new dishwasher, always have a cutlery tray because it's so easy to unload. My dishwasher's very near my cutlery drawer, so I just grab all the spoons into the drawer, all the other stuff. But yeah, personally, I'd look at Bosch and Miele for dishwasher. But it's up to you. If you're buying it, you buy what you want. That's what I say. Is the Dyson V11 any good? Personally, I don't use it. That is one cleaner that does not work on my new carpet. I think it only worked briefly when it was on eco and I had the little slide control at the bottom on minimum. On automatic, it just stalled and cut out. Absolutely useless, but you'll see that in the video. So currently, and I know people think I'm biased because I get given Shark products, but the vacuum I'm using, cordless vacuum I use day to day, and it does work on my new carpet, is the latest Shark I unboxed just around Christmas time. Can't remember the model. It's the latest one with the anti-hair wrap. That works fine on my new carpet, and a lot of the vacuums didn't. Be interesting to see, as I said, which vacuums do and don't work on that plush pile. Da, da, da. Right, come on, let's get to these comments. Oh, it was Wither Slacks. Oh, Mandy, thank you, Mandy. It was Wither Slacks Bits and Doings. Yeah, something like that. I think she was called Winnie Wither Slack. Wither Slacks Bits and Doings. Oh, she's a great loss. I still absolutely adore Victoria Wood. All the stuff she's done. Brilliant, brilliant. It's a shame. I was quite sad. If you're in the UK, you'll know this poor woman, um, this Love Island presenter. Oh, crikey, I've even forgotten her name. She's been in the news all. She killed herself, bless her. I think on Valentine's night. Um, she did Strictly. I did watch her when she won Strictly, but I can't really remember doing Strictly. But that's awful. That somebody can take their own life. Um, but we don't know what's going inside people's head. But yeah, it started this movement, I suppose, this hashtag Be Kind, because I've always said this. You've got to be very careful with what you say to people on the internet, because although she has been trolled and things have been said to her, and it was funny because there was a psychologist talking about this lady, and she said, and it's something that I relate to, she said, you can have 99 positive comments on social media, but you only focus on the one negative. And that's what I'm like. So you have to take ownership of what you say to people on social media. Um, because you don't know what how that person's going to react. You might say something nasty and flippant and not think about it, but that could affect that person. And who knows? I'm gonna have to look at. Well, I've forgotten her name. Somebody will say in the comments, but it'll. How can I not remember this poor woman's name? Because she's been talked about. Hang on a minute. I'll have to. I'll just have to put Love Island in and Love Island. This will come up. Oh no, it's just getting Love Island up. Crikey, I can't remember. Why can't I remember her name? It's me. I mean, it's too old to remember stuff. Oh, it was just at the tip of my tongue. Anyway, you'll know who I'm talking about if you live in the UK. I don't think it's uh, being reported outside. Anyway, I can't remember. Crikey, I'm going red with embarrassment, not remembering it. This poor lady that. Anyway, as I was saying, um, just be kind. Just be kind to what you say on the internet. It might not matter to you. You might not think it's affecting the person, but you just don't know how that person is. You don't know. You don't know the person's mental state. I've lost my thing now on me doobie. You don't know the person's mental state. One nasty comment could set one person over the edge. And do you want to be responsible for somebody killing themselves? No. You probably would never know it was you, but karma knows it's you. And I've said it before. I'm trying to find my doobie. I've said it before. If you can't, it's an old saying. If you can't say anything nice, don't say anything at all. So that's the mantra I go by. Right, hang on. I found my page again. I'm sure in about 10 minutes I'll tell you who I was talking about, because somebody will have commented, but I've got all these doobies to go through. Right, yes, we just had Mandy with the Slacks Bits and Doings. Right. UK train spotting and gaming. Get an Indesit. Well, I don't want my house to burn down, so I won't get an Indesit or a Whirlpool or a Hot Point. I never would anyway. I've used Indesits, as you probably know, in holiday cottages, and they are, I'm not saying, but they're naughty. Jake has got a Miele auto dosage 9 kilogram. Can I do a chatty video this week? Becca Mad says. Well, it's this week and I'm chatting. Is that's what you're getting? Okay. Could I do Occo Power on the AEG, I think? Yes, I did one today. I assume you want me to film it. Well, I will get round to doing that. Especially if I decide to buy a new washer, I will certainly want to get some videos made of the old one. Chandler's always had Apple products too. Shine a light paranormal. I'm obsessed with vacuum cleaners. The first thing I ask anyone is, where's your vacuum? Mr. Comicky would love weekly chatty vlogs if possible, Roger. Well, I would, yeah. I have, to be honest, I've recorded loads of chatty videos and then I've decided not to upload them because I thought, oh, I can't stick to the same subject, you see. That's the trouble. Hang on a minute. I'm just going to have to adjust myself. Oh, can you read my palm? Have I got a long lifeline? Yeah, I sort of lose my bottle. That's a very English or British term. I lose my bottle, I do. I make videos and think, oh no, nobody's going to be interested in that. I won't, I'll delete it. I've done that many times. I nearly deleted the last one, which I've had some lovely comments about when I blubbed. I don't think I'll be crying in this one, so don't worry. But for all of you concerned, I mean, about my regrets about my dad, it's not something that consumes my life. It's just, you know, I've made my peace with my dad, but it's just, I was just trying to get over to people watching that it's not too late. It is for me, but you know, if some for many people, it's not too late to make amends. So that's what I was trying to get over with that vid. Right. It was the 5C. Oh, that was the phone my mum gave me. It says UK trains. Did did you get the 11? Oh, the iPhone. No, it's oh no, I only got an 8 Plus iPhone. Daz Senna, can't wait to see your caravan videos when you go somewhere. Yes, well, we're going, as I said, we're going Peak District, Lincolnshire. We were going to go to Devon, but we might be going back to Wales. I think Pembrokeshire. I'm not sure. Mark's doing it all. I just I just sit in the car, fall asleep, and we end up somewhere. So you know, Chandler hates the home button so much better without. Oh no, I like a button to take me home. K1224. I've always had Apple, but never the computers. And for now, I'm staying with Windows. Oh, I couldn't. I've always had the computers. You see, I've had all of them. I've had iMacs, Emacs. My first computer, proper computer, was a classic Apple Classic, black and white screen. Didn't connect to the internet. And over there, I've got an iMac, big one, whatever that is. The latest one, it was the best one I could get at the time. It's only a couple of years old. I've got a MacBook Pro, iPad, iPods, iPhone, and tomorrow an Apple Watch. They don't say I. I've only gone for the Series 3. I thought I'll just try one, get the cheaper one. I didn't get the 5. Um, Blue Van Man. Me and June were in John Lewis at the weekend, and a guy was selling Dyson cleaners. Have you ever wanted to step in and say, don't buy that, buy another brand? No. I've occasionally, not so much recently, but I've occasionally, well, I used to sell vacuums in Currys myself, and people came in and bought whatever I told them to buy, basically. I've occasionally shown people stuff. Now, I tend to make snide comments if somebody's demonstrating a Dyson, or go over to the Sharks and play with that, you know. But yeah, Dyson employ demonstrators. I think Shark do. You cannot, you know, they're going to all be biased. If they're employed by a company, they're not going to say anything good about the competitors. They will rubbish the competitors. Whereas a true salesman, a neutral salesman, so when I worked for Currys, I worked for Currys. I didn't work for a manufacturer, although I did plug Hoover stuff, but that was back in the 80s. But a true salesman does not consider the brand. They ask questions of the customer, and then they find a product to meet the customer's needs. It doesn't matter what the brand is, and they let the customer try it out. That's the old-fashioned way of selling stuff. Because when people ask me what's the best vacuum, I can't tell them. It's a question I hate being asked, because I can't say to them without asking them lots of questions. And you just cannot sell something just a couple of to say, oh yes, buy this, buy that, because what suits one person may not suit another person. So it's when but I can understand if people go into Curry's or any other department store and a Dyson rep, the Dyson rep will want you to buy a Dyson, even though it might not be the thing that's right for your home. So be wary of that. And if they don't have a badge on saying Dyson, ask them who they work for. Take everything with a pinch of salt. Take everything I say with a pinch of salt. I'm truthful, but I can't recommend anything to anyone 100%. I don't like doing it either, because if they don't like it, they blame me. Right, hang on. Beko Mad, what do you think about the Beko Aquatech? Not a lot, really. I haven't really looked into them. I know of that. Beko are okay, but not for me. Abir, my Vax died a few days ago. Need to order a new Henry. Mr. Comicky, we bought a fantastic Morph Richards liftaway. Well, that's before Shark, because it's basically a Shark, that. And it's bought. I do like the new Shark anti-hair wrap ones. That's probably the best ones. They're uprights and the cordless. They seem to be the best so far. They probably will come out with something even better. Hi, Roger, says Sean Spangler. Christian Alexander Doherty or Doherty. Isn't it about time for some new designs from Hoover? The velocity seems to be getting a bit boring now. I don't really much like Hoover, modern Hoover. I'm into getting vintage Hoover at the moment. J. Cal is getting the same carpet in a grey colour. I think I'll have no problem with my Kirby Avalier. No, I don't think you will. As long as it's on the right height setting. UK Train Spotting and Gaming. I had an Ariston Margarita washer dryer, which was better than my Hotpoint. I think I remember that. Didn't that have a soap powder drawer? You won't be able to answer me in real time because I'm miles behind the chat. I think that had a soap powder drawer that opened in a funny way, didn't it? It didn't pull open like that. It sort of opened, you'll know what I mean. The Miele had a burnt motor. I was using it and bang, the motor blew up. It was a black one. I've no idea of the model. What is my new carpet like? Well, you'll see it in next video on my other channel. Tommy Williams wants a shout out. Hello, Tommy. Jake, what phone did you get? What colour? It's space grey, iPhone 8 Plus. And I also got the matching proper Apple skin. Oh, I don't know if you can hear the hail on my skylight. Hang on. Yeah. What do you recommend? What do I recommend for what? For what? I'm not recommending anything. Garrett says, some people are out today and some at home because today... Oh, it's President's Day. Oh, yes, I did know that. I saw something on Facebook. I think Bissell posted something about President's Day. And I thought, oh, that must be Bissell USA, because Bissell UK won't be celebrating President's Day. Could you do a review of washer, dryer and dishwasher? Well, I'm planning on doing an update on the dishwasher that I've already got. Do they sell Rowenta irons in the UK, says K1224? Yes, they do. Christian Alexander Doherty. It was an elderly man. His 2-week-old Dyson V11 blew up. He was not best pleased. He went for the AEG CX1 in chili red. UK Train Spotter and Gaming. What washer do you recommend? Well, personally, for me, I'm going to buy a Miele. I think I don't want a Samsung. I don't want a Bosch. I've had Bosch. I've always wanted a Miele. But the Miele I get when I choose the Miele will be the one that's got a 10-year guarantee, and it will have the auto DOS system because I like the idea of that. The one I'm looking at is about £1,600, but I'm only looking. I'm trying not to press that buy it now button. I won't. I'm not going to buy it. Just looking at videos. I'll wait until they get some new ones out in a year, maybe. What Hoover would you recommend? Well, again, I can't recommend a specific Hoover. Depends on what you want to clean up, really. But I do like Sharks. If you want bagless, I prefer Shark over Dyson. I like Miele for bagged. Rob, oh God, I can't see. Now, I do have contact lenses in, but I can't see. Rob YouTube one, I'm really looking forward to more caravan fun or caravan calamities. There'll be no calamities. When do you think you'll be posting the next one? Well, our next caravan trip is in March. So maybe in March, maybe April, I'll be posting videos. Jay Kelly, I've been looking at Miele, Siemens and Neff dishwashers, but they both have cutlery trays, so I'll see what the wife wants. You must do what you want, unless your wife's paying for it. But if you're paying for it, then you put your foot down and say, I'm having this, and you'll like it or lump it. And think yourself lucky, wifey, that you've got a dishwasher and you're not stood at the sink with your rubber gloves on doing all the washing while I'm sat in the living room watching the football. Say that and see what happens. You might not get spoken to for a while. Not that I know about wives, but I do know about, well, I don't have a husband. I don't have a husband. I think I probably would say yes, though, if I was asked, but I was bought a ring once, but I threw it back in his face. I didn't realise what the significance was. I just said, oh, I don't wear rings. I think it might have been an engagement ring. But it was too soon. You know, it was early days. He hadn't seen the full horror of what I am. He has now seen the full horror of what I am, and he's passed that test. So, and vice versa. I probably would say yes. But I can't see, you know, I'd only marry for the financial implications, you know, and the security. Not for the love. You don't marry for love these days. Hang on a minute. I've lost all my doobie because I'm fiddling with my screen here. Right, oh, heck. Hang on, let's press that button there. That's it. Oh, dear. Oh, somebody said, bad stream. Oh, Elephant. Oh, Elephant Gamer 26. Bad stream, you suck, JK. Is that for me? Don't know if it's for me. If it was for me, I'd block you instantly and you'd be blocked on all my channels and social media, everything. If I could. I just block these days. Just block, block, block. Block. And I was only saying about being nice earlier, you know. You might not have been talking to me, but even if you weren't talking to me, it's probably best you don't say anything nasty to anyone in the comments. He's put it in capitals as well, which is shouting. Right, let me try and go back because I've skipped. Caroline Flack, thank you. Caroline Flack was the poor lady I was talking about earlier who ended her life. Right, hang on. I'm nearly back to where I was. Right. Crikey, I must be way behind then if Caroline Flack's just been mentioned. Mr. Comic, he has a Siemens dishwasher. Aren't they the same as Bosch? I think they're the same company, aren't they? Rob YouTube, I bought a Miele dishwasher and it flooded my kitchen on the 6th time of using it. Oak floor ruined. Unimpressed. Well, mine's never flooded my kitchen. Didn't it have that anti-flood device on it? And I wouldn't say it's 750 wasted, because if you've only had it 6 times and it's flooded your kitchen, why didn't you get a refund? Because if I'd had a dishwasher and only used it 6 times, it can't be very old, I would have insisted on a replacement or a refund, and you were well within your rights to get that. So you haven't. If you've wasted £750, that's down to you not complaining. You need to complain. Glenar, Caroline Flack is the name of the... Yes, yes, we've done that one. Any more progress regarding the house clearing, Roger, says Glenar. Well, I'm getting there bit by bit, but it's a slow process. I really need to start sorting the garage out, but it's been too cold. I don't like being cold. And I say I'm still not well, properly 100% back to health. I'm going to start selling, to make the room. But, my bedroom is absolutely full of mess and vacuums, still boxed, cordless Hoover cylinder there, and there's a Miele you haven't seen under there, and or Panasonic. Hang on, Panasonic you haven't seen. Oh, there's absolutely tons and tons you haven't seen. Tons I haven't seen either. I've got them, but not unboxed. Oh, I'm having hot flash. Right, I'll have to start skipping through. I'm in my caravan in Donny's Monk. I'm in my caravan in March. Garrett doesn't like the iPhone. He has a Samsung. Well, I like my iPhone. Hello, Elaine and Sue Bean from the USA. 40 people are tuning in. Can this be regular chit-chat? Well, don't know. Now, I'll have to... it's quite handy. I was just doing this to try out the phone, the streaming on my iPhone. So yeah, it's quite handy to do this way because, as I say, I can look at your comments on my iPad and film on the phone. So maybe if people want to see me, I've got things. I nearly made a video about Philip Schofield, but then I thought, oh, there's so many people making videos. All I'll say about Philip Schofield is he knew he was gay when he got married, and actually he confirmed that. But I before he confirmed that, I said to Mark, he knew when he was 27 years ago or whenever, he knew that he was gay, and people are saying how brave he is. He's not brave. If you want an example of a brave gay person, research Quentin Crisp. You can go on YouTube, possibly The Naked Civil Servant. Type that in. You might be able to see that on YouTube. And that's John Hurt played Quentin Crisp. Quentin Crisp, I think he was born in the 1920s, and he certainly grew up in a time when it was illegal to be gay, and you could be arrested, you could be put into prison. There was a criminal prosecution called gross indecency. So if you went with, and this only applied to men, gay women, lesbians, there was no law against that because I think it was not really acknowledged back in the day that there were lesbian women. So you could, if you were to have, and this is adult talk, this is an adult channel, it's not for kids, but if two men were to have, let's say, a pleasurable experience together that they both wanted, they could be arrested, prosecuted, sent to prison. Anyway, Quentin Crisp, he didn't hide his sexuality by getting married like a lot of men did back in the day. When homosexuality was illegal, men would hide that aspect of themselves. They would get married, they would have the children, they would have the normal suburban life on the surface, but they would be on, having a double life and not. And I'm sure a lot of them took that to their graves back in the day. They would have died keeping that secret and not having a very good life. So when Philip Schofield knew, he could have come out it wouldn't have been as easy back in the 80s. But he works in the entertainment industry. It's full, hang on. Mark, I'm live streaming, so don't speak. So, it's not so hard to come out in that environment. In fact, he kept that from his wife. I mean, she will have known for a while. It's not news to her. Um, but yeah, he's not brave. As I said, Quentin Crisp, he lived his life out in the open. He didn't hide it. He got prosecuted. He got beaten up, but he stuck to his guns. He was an out gay man in a time when it was illegal to be gay. So that is a brave gay man. Philip Schofield is not a brave gay man. I'm not saying he's a coward. I don't know anything about his personal life really, and none of us do unless you're involved with it. But no, not a fan of his. I was brought up. Oh, hang on, just I watched his stuff when I was younger, and the signs were there. Right, hang on. Could I do a toy washing machine series? Well, I've got a couple of toy washing machines. Funnily enough, I've just bought another one today. I'm not, Hoover Electron, Casden one. Looks in pretty good condition. Jake Alley, we went to Battersea Dogs Home 2 weeks ago and ended up buying a Dachshund named Sasha. Oh, I had a Dachshund named Sasha. And she's so cute. She's golden and long-haired. My Sasha was long-haired and, pardon me, not golden, she was a red. Do you plan taking the caravan abroad? I wouldn't have thought so. Maybe, but I don't know. Right. Oops. Hello. I'm not saying that word. Oh yes. Well, Philip Schofield has been implicated in seeing a very young man, much too young for someone his age. But anyway, unless we can't comment unless you're involved personally. I did comment, but we can't judge folk unless we really know what's going on. Elaine's in Cuba. Well, I hope to go back to 3 videos a week when I'm sorted. You gonna still do that live? Oh gosh, did that show? I couldn't get that to work on the MacBook, so that's why I started on my phone. It said something about some software. Yes, Mr. Comicky, I am planning on converting old videos. So, yes, lots of things planned, lots of things. I'd recommend turning the iPhone around and using the back camera. But then I can't see where my face is. That's the trouble. I wouldn't be able to, you'd probably be looking at that. Oh, that I got in Wales. You haven't seen those videos. Oh, you see, I can't really see what I'm doing. It's a big picture of a lighthouse, a walk we actually did. It's by an artist called Janet Bell. Would I consider doing a day in the life of Roger video? Well, basically, I don't think he'd be very interested. It's Roger going to work, being bored out of his skull, coming home, having his breakfast, sitting on the sofa for a bit, then deciding to lie on the sofa for a bit, falling asleep next to Daisy, waking up, maybe eating some more, prattling about for the rest of the day, going to bed. No, I don't think you'd be interested. You see, I'm a real person. I'm not one of these YouTubers that it's all, ooh, look at me. I live a perfect life. Look at my lovely house. Look at my perfect face. Look at my perfect breasts. So I don't have breasts, but, well, not yet. No, I'm just a regular boring fart. Oh, right, hang on. I can feel I'm very red. It's quite warm. That's Mark coughing in the background. I don't know if you heard that. Don't know if the microphone's that good. Right, hang on. Oh dear, I'll miss it. I'm just getting all mixed up. No, I've gone to the Mila flooding. That was ages ago. Right, I've done that. Sue Bean, please say hi to my sister in the UK. Hello, Sue's sister in the UK. I don't know what your name is, unless Sue says later. Right. Hope the weather is okay where you are. Well, it's been raining. We've had this Hurricane Dennis or whatever, but it didn't really. We are quite near an area that's flooded heavily, but that's in the valley bottom. We're quite high up, so we've had no problems. We had a bit of flooding in the village, well, on the road that comes to the village, but you know, cars. Well, a car got stuck, but nothing like some people have been having. And it's flooded quite a lot in York, where I used to live, but that happened not that regularly. But I do remember York flooding when I lived there. I still managed to cycle in though, even with the floods. That's when I first became a bit distrustful of the media, because it was, I think it was back in the day of TV AM, or was it GMTV? And I saw a film crew, you know, because it was at dark, and there was lights, and and they were making out basically it to them it sounded like York was underwater and you couldn't get into it. And here's me cycling past. I managed to get to work. Had to make a bit of a detour. One road was flooded, but yeah, they just over over dramatize. Is that the right word? Sometimes. So yeah, unless you're there experiencing it, you know it's real. Then, if you're seeing some reporter, take it with a pinch of salt. I'm sure, yes, some people have been devastated by the flooding we've had and have lost loads of possessions. It must be absolutely awful. But yeah, sometimes the media do tend to exaggerate. Uh, this bloody coronavirus as well. I'm sick of hearing about that. Mm. And also, yeah, I've been London. I went to London as I said earlier. I mentioned I've been to London, and it's portrayed as being a place where there's gangs roaming the streets with knives, and you're likely to get stabbed in London. I saw none of that. It was very pleasant trip. The weather was lovely as well. You'll see bits of my London trip anyway. Little bits, photos, and little bit of video I managed to do. Oh, I've had these lenses in too long. They're not working. Hang on. Yeah, I've done that one. Yes. I've done the weather. Mr. Comicky, do you have a top 10 list or bucket list of new adventures you'd like to do in the near future? Not really. I don't like adventure. I would like to go to America, New York, possibly. I would like to go to Berlin. That's 1 year to the IFA, I think it is. They do a show, a trade show with electronics and vacuums and washers and all that. I'd like to go to that. I'd like to stay in the Hoover building that's been converted to flats. I think you can get an Airbnb. That's in London, outer London. But no, I don't really have many items on a bucket list. Kim Woodburn, I love her. I don't know where that came from. Yeah, she's a feisty lady, is Kim. Oh, hang on, that's not it, is it? Oh no, I've pressed. Oh, here's more. There's more. Mark's coughing up his guts downstairs. Now, Oh, right. Hang on. I've lost all your doobers now because I'm. Oh dear. Didn't plan this. Yeah, I just thought I'd try out my phone. That's all. Favorite movie. Favorite movie. I can't say I've got a favorite. I can probably list about 10, and don't take this as the order, but Tootsie, Love Actually, Sound of Music, uh, Ghost, mm, Ruthless People with Bette Midler when she gets kidnapped. That's very good. Um, oh, Schmark, stop coughing. I'm sick of it now. I mean, I gave it to him, but still. Oh, crikey. They're all comedies mainly. I like About Time, which is similar sort of film to Love Actually, sort of romantic comedy. Pretty Woman, that's all right. Back to the Future, 1. Two's okay, but not 3. Don't like 3. Oh, there's quite a lot. I tend to more like comedy sitcoms and half-hour comedies rather than films. But Tootsie is pretty high up. I'm it. Oh, no, I shouldn't speak like that. I'll cough. When he takes his false eyelashes off. I'm Edward Kimberly, Edward Kimberly, and they faint, and I like that. Um, Dylan, oh crikey, I'm gonna have to hold this to my face. My lenses, my contact lenses aren't functioning now because I've been in too long. It's all a blur. Hello, Catherine Miller. I'm fine, Catherine. Thank you. Um, right, I'm not turning the camera around. As I explained why I'm not turning the phone around, because I won't be able to see that I'm in shot if I turn the camera around, you see. I'm sure the rear camera's better, but you wouldn't want to see me in any better definition than this, I can assure you. It's better that I'm fuzzy. Garrett, what would you say is your dream car? I don't drive. I have mine, a 1958 Edsel, but my new dream car is a 1960 Lincoln Continental Mark V in black and white. Well, and it was at the time the biggest offering from the Ford company. Well, I don't have a dream car. I don't drive, but if I did have a car nowadays, I'd probably get an all electric car. Probably one of those BMW all electric Dubris. I'm not into cars. Cars are Mark's thing. But I do know, I do recognise and can name cars, mainly from the 80s. I do see cars on programmes and say to Mark, oh, is that is that an Austin Maestro or is that a BL Ambassador or something? And he said yes, and I think, oh crikey, how did I know that? Tends to be 80s cars I tend to recognise. That's my favourite decade, I think, for me, the 1980s. uh, I concur with your comments on Philip Schofield. In fact, it seemed a bit overplanned for me. To Quentin Crisp, I would add Joe. Oh, yes, Joe Orton. Here's another one I'm thinking of. You can see a Joe Orton film about Joe Orton called Prick Up Your Ears. Don't take it the wrong way. Joe Orton was somebody that he was obviously came a lot later than Quentin Crisp, but he was quite happy to go and have a lot of, let's say, bum fun. So yeah, there was a film about him, and he was also friendly with Kenneth Williams, who was another gay man who was a bit more suppressed about his sexuality and didn't really have a very happy life. Um, but yeah, there's just look into it. You know, the history of pioneering gay people makes Philip Schofield look like he's nothing. He's not, you know, as I said, he's not brave to do what he's done. He would have been brave to come out when he knew, and that might have risked his career. You see, back then, so he didn't. So instead, fine if you want to keep that private, but do not. Oh, it's all fine for us to say do. We don't know what goes on in other people's lives, but I never felt the need to hide. I didn't come out for many years. I was way into my 20s. But I didn't feel the need to sort of cover it up and go out with women or whatever. So crikey, that hail's coming down. I don't know if you can hear it. Anyway, I went off Philip Schofield a while ago. I just saw him. Just it's the way he reacts to certain people he's had on This Morning and stuff. I thought, ooh, you're not a very nice person. That's what I thought. So I don't know. I wouldn't be sad if he gets his comeuppance. Mr. Comickey, currently watching One Foot in the Grave. Oh, that's good. Girl, that is good. Yeah, it's one of the better '90s comedies. One Foot in the Grave and Alvida's Own Pet from start to finish. The old ones are the best. Yes, I watched all the. I watched Alvida. I'm that old. I watched Alvida's Own Pet when it was first broadcast. I was still at school then. Hello, Pixie Lot. Oh, is that the Pixie Lot? Dylan, you can look at the live stream on the iPad and see where the camera is. Yes, I can, but if I look at the live stream on the iPad, then I won't be able to. I'll lose my place in the comments again. Having breakfast after work's his house and mead. Yes, because I start work very early and finish when most people are just starting work. That's why I have my breakfast after work. Oh, Audrey Forbes Hamilton, are you looking forward to Last Tango in Halifax? I'll watch it. I'm not desperately looking forward, but I will watch it because I watched all the others. It's filmed around where I live, so I do recognise a lot of places. And apparently they were filming in the pub that's just a stone's throw away from where I live. They filmed inside there one day for some reason. So, yes. And I did watch Happy Valley as well, which is also filmed around here, but it's a bit brutal. Not, Last Tango in Halifax is something my mum watches, but I wouldn't recommend her watching Happy Valley. Right. Jay Callie went to Lloyd's Bank and some old woman dropped her pants and had a poo on the floor. Well, she probably needed it. When I used to work in a clothes shop that catered for the more elderly customer, Mark, I'm live streaming, so if you come up naked, you'll be seen. Okay? I'm live streaming YouTube. What are you doing? You'll have to... What? I don't know what he's saying. You didn't want to see that. He sometimes comes and uses the shower, you see. Right, but he did have his clothes on. What was I saying? Oh, yes. Yes, I used to work in a shop that catered for the more elderly customer, and we did find a poo in the fitting room once, but I didn't pick it up. I'll just have to skip through some of these because you're chatting amongst yourselves, which is fine. Of course. Feel free. When will you be uploading the other vlogs you did at your mum's? Oh, crikey. Well, when I get round to it. This year. I'm going to say this year. Glennar, I see that Elton has lost his voice. Hope he still sends you a vacuum cleaner at Christmas, though. I'm sure he'll be fine. Well, I don't expect any more off Elton, really. He's quite happy with what he sent me this year. He made up for all the crappy goblins. Coolio, what do you think to Dyson Contra rotator washing machines? Well, you remember seeing them. I thought they were quite big and odd looking. I like the idea. Mark, that belch has probably come out on YouTube. Do apologise if you heard that. Well, I thought it's a good idea to have the contra rotating drums, but they were a bit of a failure, weren't they? Not very reliable, so I hear, but I've never used one. Hello, Bruce. Uh-huh. Hello, Brandon from Ohio. Oh God, the comments keep flicking up suddenly, and then I'm losing them. What has McCann? What are backing gonna do you recommend? I've no idea what that means. Sorry. Um, Roger, do you vacuuming or cutting the lawn? What? I do cut the lawn. Oh, stop moving. Simon, have you got any caravan holidays booked yet? Yes, 3 or 2 at least. Peak District, Lincolnshire, and somewhere else. March is the first. Which is the best vacuum, Shark or Dyson? They have their pros and cons. Personally, for me, I prefer the Shark ones. Bruce's dream car is a Bentley. I don't know how to pronounce that. Mulsanne with a chauffeur. I've had to stop driving, which I loved because of epilepsy. Well, it's a shame you can't have a chauffeur. I've got a chauffeur. But I don't pay him. What do you think of the very cheap vacuums? Well, if that's all you can afford, they might last you a year, 2 if you're lucky. If you're going very cheap, personally, I'd go for bagged than a bagless, because the very cheap bagless vacuums tend to have not very effective cyclones and filters that clog up every time you use them, and people who buy that sort of vacuum don't even look at the filter. They clog up, they overheat, blah blah. But you've got some chance with a bagged vacuum. Cheap. What have I done to the caravan lately? I've used nothing apart from dumped loads of stuff in it, using it as a dumping a dumping ground. It's sitting on the drive quite happily. I've been in it checking it out. It's fine. Do I like keeping up appearances? Yes, I watched all of those with Hyacinth Bouquet. Stop it. Do I get bored of the same questions? Yes, but some people who ask the same questions don't realise that they've asked them. That's the thing. So I can't blame the people for asking the same questions, because sometimes it's the first time they've asked them. I'm not all that keen on people that keep asking me the same question over and over again, though. Not keen on that at all. Hello, Gail. I am feeling better, Gail, thank you. Apart from sore ribs. I don't know if I've sprained something with all the coughing, but yeah. Not 100%, but I am better than I was. Coolio, when is the pneumatic rainbow colour Roger vacuum coming out with a power head? Well, in our dreams, I think. Which means never. Jake Alley, do you remember the big fiasco when Hoover did those free flights if you spend over £300 to go, blah, blah? Yes, I do. I've got lots of video footage of that when it was in the news. I got lots of newspaper cuttings about that. I've even got some point of sale material, advertising those free flights that were shown in shops. So I did follow all that. That was a shambles and a travesty for Hoover, offering free flights that cost far more than the actual product. The people they were sacked, but that started, I think, a downhill spiral for Hoover. And now the Hoover company in the UK, they're Chinese owned now. I don't really have much to do. Do occasionally buy odd new Hoovers, but I'd rather buy the older ones, especially from the 80s, 70s and 80s into the 90s, when they were still made in Britain. They're not the same. What is, though? What is? Hello, Kieran. Turley. Glyn R. Have you thought about taking The caravan to Essex. Oh no, Essex. That's full of cockneys. Well, not cockneys. It's full of Essex people, isn't it? People from Essex. No, I jest. I don't think we'd go to Essex. No, no. We'll go back. We'll go to Sussex and Surrey, but not Essex. No. Do I like Shark Ion Flex? Yes, it's fine. It's not called that in the UK though. What vacuum cleaner do you recommend? I don't know what your carpets are. I can't recommend a single vacuum. Sorry. Am I tired? I'm very tired. I do work very early. Uh, Dylan says, would love to see a few videos of you buying some faulty vacuums and fix. It's all on the wish list of things I want to do on my channel is do some repair and refurbishment videos. Once I get back into the swing of things, that is something I'm planning on doing. What vacuum do I personally use the most? Well, I don't have one that specifically because I can say at the moment I'm using the latest Shark cordless for general cleaning. I've been using this. Hang on, don't want you seeing all the mess. Can you see there? That turbo power. I've been using my Fourth Erk Tiger as well. And occasionally the Dyson V10, not the V11. I tend to grab the V10 more than the V11. What do you think about Eureka coming to the UK as Shark, and they are the same as some Vaxes? Well, we do get Eureka. There is the Eureka brand in the UK, but I don't think it's anything to do with the Eureka brand in the USA. So we do have that brand name, sometimes called Swan Eureka. I don't think they can, but so I don't think the official Eureka company will probably come into the UK. I wouldn't have thought so. Adele, do you have a hand upholstery cleaner that you might be selling? Well, I wouldn't ask about what I'm selling because that's not going to be for a while until I've sorted them. I can't think of any handheld ones. Anything I'm selling, just go on eBay. And I'll probably put links to what I'm selling on my Facebook page if you want to keep. If you follow me on Facebook, I'll put links to anything I put up, but it won't be for a while. Tyler B, Daddy, hi. Where is your daddy, Tyler? Glenn, have you bought any more leg sets lately? I think you mean Lego. No, I've gone right off the Lego. That was a passing fad. In fact, I'm not sure I've still got sets to assemble. I'm thinking I'll just leave them and sell them later on. It was a passing phase. I have these fads. I'll keep them for now. I might get back into Lego, but I haven't bought any others. No, I haven't time to say Dylan Salter 20 times, thank you. Because if you say Dylan Salter 20 times, you invoke the devil, I believe. When is my birthday? Well, it's in June, but that's all I'm saying. Oh, is that it? Oh, I've caught up. I think I've caught up. Have I? Right, well, now's your last chance. I've got to go because, I'm I was only testing. Oh, I didn't even get dressed up for you, God, I've worn this many a year. But of course you can't kill polyester fleece. It will be here long after we're all dust. It will still be wearable in thousands of years. Audrey Forbes Hamilton, our cottage was flooded on Saturday night. Had to empty the Bissell tank 14 times on sitting room carpet. Oh, well, I hope you've got things sorted, Audrey. Um, what phone did I have previously? I don't know, an iPhone 5C or something, or I don't know what it was. It was a hand-me-down. Happy with your phone, Roger? Yes. I took it to London. I used it a lot in London. I used it to take some photos and a bit of video, and we used the Maps app to find our way around. So yeah, happy enough. It's not. I'm not gonna. I'm not one of these people that are glued to my phone all the time. You see that walking around London, people just like this. Um, I have a phone and use it when I need it. Um, but yeah, it's what I expected. You know, I'm used to the Apple. It's just basically like a smaller iPad for me. You know, I know what's what. We did go to the Apple store in London. It was quite interesting because they have a sort of a demonstration area at the front. And when we went in, a very young man was demonstrating photography and video on the iPhone, and I didn't know what the live button meant. So I now know what the live button is, what it means when it says live, and gave us some tips. So that was quite interesting. I went to the Miele. It's called a gallery. It's basically a shop. I went to the Miele Gallery in London, and I saw the new Triflex. They only had one model there, the red one, the basic one. Crikey, that is a heavy, heavy handheld vacuum. Very heavy, very bulky. And I turned it on, tried the suction at the end, with my hand. Even on full power, it was mediocre. I do want to get one at some point, but wasn't impressed. You gonna sell the 5C? I don't know. Oh, hang on. What's your last comment, Garrett? Hang on. Oh, I hope it's not too far away. You might have to repeat it. You'll have to repeat it, Garrett, because I can't. I'm not going all the way back. I'll lose. Where I am. You'll have to say it again. Have you tried the Persil Power Gems? It's not clear. No, I don't use Persil. I don't use Persil. I don't use Ariel. I don't use Procter and Gamble products, and I don't use Lever Brothers because of their animal testing. I don't know if they're still animal tests, but they have animal tested in the past, so I don't use their products. I've used other. I use EcoZone. There's a company called Attitude. Astonish washing liquid I've used a couple of times, but at the moment I'm using Attitude citrus fragrance liquid detergent and the citrus fragrance fabric softener. I sometimes use EcoZone fabric softener, the blue one, but yeah, I don't use those nasty brands that like to abuse the animals, or did in the past. I don't care if they've stopped now. I don't know if they have, but no. Big Jim says hi. Oh, hi, Big Jim. Feel well. Thank you, Boos. I will feel well. I'm getting there. I've never had such a long period of illness. It's been a little bit upsetting. I did resort to praying, which may or may not have helped. I asked the Lord. I said, heal me, Lord. I need to go to America and visit one of those praise the Lord, I can heal you types. Dear. Dylan is still using the first ever iPhone. Tesco or Asda? Neither. I don't shop at either of those shops. No. Mad Watermelon, do you prefer automatic cars or manuals, Roger? I'm currently taking lessons and struggling with clutch control. Automatic. Not that I drive, but Mark drives, and he started getting automatic cars a few years ago, and he would never go back to buying a manual car. And if I learnt to drive, I did start to learn to drive a few years ago, and sort of it went by the wayside. But it was the gears I had trouble with most. So yeah, I personally would have automatic. If I was to learn to drive and get a car, it would be either hybrid or fully electric. And I think fully electric cars are automatic anyway, aren't they? You don't have. I don't think you have gears as such in electric cars. Edgar says, "Do you ever try flying the helicopter from the Christmas calendar again?" Uh, I haven't really looked at that. It's over there. I'm gonna have a. I'll try and have a go at some point and try and get that flying. The Venomator, yo, Roger, Rog here. Bit late to the party, and sorry if you've already covered this, but what socks would you happen to have on? Well, I'm afraid that they're not happy socks because I only keep the happy socks the sort of best. If I hadn't changed my socks when I got home from work, they would have just been black. I've got some in my they're not. Oh no, they're not black anymore. They're grey. I wear the same pants, black panties. Oh, here, look. These are my work socks, but I did change my socks when I came home from work, and they're just sort of a bit plain burgundy with a black base. But yeah, these are sort of work socks, and I wear them with my steel toe cap boots. There you go. No, fresh as a daisy. Right, there we go. I won't show you my pants. Jake Alley. Goodbye, Roger. I hope you have a lovely week. I've got to take the dog out for a quick walk. Well, remember to clean up the poo-poo. Maeve Chalk. I know you're not a video games fan, but have you heard of Luigi's Mansion, where Luigi vacuums up ghosts with his Poltergeist 3000 vacuum cleaner? Well, no, but I have been into video games. Back in the 90s, I had nearly every console you could get and still have most of them. I did buy a PlayStation 4 last year, and a few games, and I started playing Grand Theft Auto, whichever one it is, the latest one, and I couldn't get past the demonstration stage, so I gave up on that. I kept there's a bit in the demonstration stage where there's a guard comes along, and I don't know if you have to shoot him or something. I keep missing, or I don't know what happened. Anyway, I lost interest. So I have played video games with vacuums. There was a Simpsons video game. I think it was for the Mega Drive, or if you're in the USA, the Sega Genesis. Bart's Nightmare. Oh no, it wasn't. It was for the Super Nintendo, the NES. Bart's Nightmare. There's a scene with Itchy and Scratchy and vacuum cleaners in that video game. That was quite difficult. Couldn't do it. Tyler B. Have you seen the Vicar R25? Looks like an interesting... No, we don't get that brand in the UK, and it's very... I do know of the brand. We don't get it in the UK, and I would be very surprised if we ever did. But who knows? If we strike a new trade deal with the USA, as Donald Trump has promised, now we've left the EU, the UK government are supposed to be starting negotiations with the EU and other countries about trade. And Donald Trump has said, he's going to do a good deal for the UK. So it could possibly mean that we might get some more USA made products, or USA brands in the UK that we haven't had before, because at the moment, I think because of EU tariffs and stuff, they cost a lot of money. So perhaps that's put some American companies off. But if we have a better trading partnership with the USA, if that can be worked out, then maybe, yes, maybe we'll see more USA brands coming over here. You may see some more UK brands. You might get a lot more Henry type cleaners and a lot cheaper. Because obviously the Henry brand is made in the UK. So they might decide to up their production and import more into the USA, and you'll see Henry's and Henry's friends in more shops over there. We'll have to see what happens. Da-da-da. No, I've not used Yankee Candle plugins, but my mum has. I've got a Yankee Candle reed diffuser on the go at the moment. Becca, Mad, what am I doing tomorrow? Well, it depends. Maybe making a video or two. K1224, if you ever need a new iPad, I recommend the 11-inch Pro without a home button. I never thought I would spend my money for... No, I don't think I'd spend that much on an iPad. I've got a fairly new MacBook Pro, the larger version. So I would only probably want a smaller iPad. Would I ever buy a drone? Probably not, because I'd probably use it once or twice, crash it, and think, oh, that was a waste of money. Which MacBook did you buy? I can't remember. Whatever was, it's a year or two ago. Whatever was the top of the range back. It's here. It's here. Here it is. I don't know. It's got the. Well, it needs a dust. It's this one. It's got that bar thing. I don't use that thing. I don't know what it is. I just got the one that I thought would be the best for video editing, and it works pretty well for that. Oh, it's all right. It was it's not broken. It's not the MacBook that fell then. If you like old video games, there is an arcade in Burnley worth a visit. Oh, I don't think I'll be going to Burnley any day soon. No, I don't mind the video games that you play inside your house. Sega, Mega Drive. I've got Sega Mega Drive, I've got Sega Saturn. I've got all those mini consoles. I've got the latest Sega Mega Drive mini console. I've got my old Acorn Electron computer still from the 80s. I think it still works. Mave Chalk. I still have all my consoles too, Roger. Going back to the Atari 2600. I gave up on GTA 2, not my cup of tea. Well, I just fancied it. I just wanted to go around running people over and hitting people, because I don't do that in real life, and I thought it would help get out some pent-up aggression, and possibly go shopping in a virtual world, and just be a bit naughty. Now, I don't know if any of you know a lady called Coco Peru, but if you type in Coco Peru plays Grand Theft Auto or something, that's a very funny YouTube video. So that's possibly what I would be like, running people over, commenting on the decor in the houses, and hitting people if they're using their phone inappropriately, that sort of thing. So that is a funny video. Yes. Optimal Industries, how was your day so far? Very uneventful, relaxing. Well, I did go to work, which I tend to gloss over. Glyn, I'll be seeing you, Roger. Got a long day in the shop. Oh, it's Glyn Roberts. Will you've changed your name, Glyn? I thought it was you. Anyway, what do you sell, Glyn? I don't think I've ever asked you. Is it a shop in Soho? Because I was in Soho recently. I could have seen you. Um. Anyway, Glyn's got a long day in the shop tomorrow. Glad to see you looking better. Well, if this looks better, Glyn, well, I'm not dead anyway. Yeah, Garrett, I've asked. I haven't. You'll have to repeat your last comment, Garrett, that you wanted me to read out because if I go back over, I can't. It'll take me ages to find it, and then I'll lose where I am. So just comment it again, and then I'll see it. You see. Um, I'm going in a minute anyway. So this is just 20. It's 21:31. Is it? Well, there was nothing to watch on TV. What I'm enjoying at the moment on TV, well, I'm starting to watch Curb Your Enthusiasm. There's a new series of that. And I'm quite enjoying Grace and Frankie. Um, oh, that's another film I like, 9 to 5. That's just reminded me from 1980. Because, of course, that featured Lily Tomlin and Jane Fonda in that, didn't they? And they, of course, star in Grace and Frankie. So, yes, I'm quite enjoying watching that at the moment. Seems to be an awful lot of Apple product placement. They all have iPhones and have MacBooks. No, my iPad's gone into night mode. It's the screen's gone all yellow. Dylan Salter, what would you say has been your best purchase ever? Crikey, I don't know. I've purchased so much stuff. Hang on. Oh, just adjust myself. I can't say what my best purchase ever is. You'll have to be a bit more specific. No, I can't think. No. Well, if I'd actually paid for Daisy, then I would say Daisy. But my mum bought Daisy for me, and she bought Rupee. Um, and Molly was free. But yeah, if I'd paid for Daisy, I'd say Daisy, of course. Jake Alley. I've only had a few vacuums in the 27 years in my home. A Vax tub, Hoover Turbo Power, and a Kirby Legend 2 and a Kirby Avalier. Dylan says, what's the best Apple product you have ever bought? Well, probably I'd say whatever the latest one is I bought. Probably no, probably this because I mean I do have a big iMac desktop computer, but I need to sort out it's full. I filled it up with videos and I need to sort it properly. So I used to use that for video editing, but this does what that big computer does, and it's more portable. I can take this on holiday. I can edit videos in bed. I can edit videos downstairs. So probably this MacBook, I'd say. Yeah. Jake's got a new lawnmower, a Bosch. Well, there's no point in me trying to mow my lawn at the moment. It's just mud. Right, well, Garrett, unless you're going to repeat what you said, I won't be able to say because I'm going in a minute. I would definitely recommend a skin or case. No. I look after my stuff. I mean, this always it has a bag it goes in, and I mean it needs a wipe down. It's got a few marks on it, but it's not scratched. I don't tend to take it much out of the house, so it's. I think even the thing I take out most is my iPod Classic, which is currently docked in my Apple Hi-Fi, which you can't buy those anymore. I got that years ago, and that's always that's always kept in a case that completely surrounds it. So when I take it out the case, it still looks brand new. Jay Kelly, if you had £500 million, what would you spend it on? Well, I would certainly buy a nice big house away from where I live now. Well, I'd initially buy a house in the village my mum lives, so it wouldn't be a huge house, but a nice detached, just, nothing too extravagant, but just a nice detached 4-bed house, ensuite, utility room. I definitely want utility room. Double garage would be nice. So yes, and I'd probably buy a holiday cottage in the Lake District. You can't buy 500 million isn't a lot. I was going to say I'd buy an apartment in the Hoover Building in London. Probably go on holiday a few places. Might buy a few vacuum cleaners. Well, buy a nice electric car and learn to drive it. Possibly, well, I'd buy Mark a nice new car that can tow a more deluxe caravan, a bigger caravan than we've got. And that'll do, yeah. And then save the rest. Yeah. But house would be certainly high on the list of purchases. Is that the evening sun in your window? What window? No, the window's over there and it's dark. It's night time here. The sun's gone long ago. That's a lamp. Don't know if that's... Yeah, it's a lamp. Perhaps that's what you're looking at. Edgar. Mauve Chalk, I was watching your emotional video the other day and I really liked the chest of drawers / sideboard unit in your front room. Of course, that's the most important thing. Where did you get that from, please? Well, if you're in the UK, I got it from Marks and Spencer, and I think they still do it. And I think the range is called Sonoma, Sonoma, I think. Sonoma Light. They do it. They used to do it in a dark as well, and they do. Well, all our furniture is that we've got a TV unit, nest of tables, some side tables, and a sideboard. You can get a bureau, which you can hide a computer in. They even do kitchen cabinets. You can get bedroom furniture in it, but it's from Marks and Spencer. I'm not sure if they still do it. And normally they have offers. If you buy 2 pieces, you get 20% off. They often do that, but I haven't looked at furniture for a long time, so I don't know if they still do it. But it was popular back then. It's probably still available. Lulu Pop Davis. Hello, Lulu Pop. Hi, Roger. I've been watching from basically the beginning of time, or just when I decided to put my ugly face on the YouTube. Dylan says, I would try getting into the touch bar on the MacBook as it can be very useful for editing. I know, but it's learning new things. I use my MacBook with, I have to edit. I've tried editing with the MacBook using the built-in Doobry thing, the pad thing, hopeless. So I do have a separate Apple mouse, Magic Mouse that I use. So basically, it's basically the same as using my big computer, but obviously I can do it on my knee. Oh, it's a lamp. Yes, it's a lamp. It's a lamp, look. Oh, that's better, isn't it? It's an IKEA lamp. Very nice. I also have a matching lamp the other side, and I have the matching desk lamp as well. Right. Oh, here. I've got more comments now. It's going to go. Ooh. Tech Doyle YT. Thank you. Because of your videos, I have a vacuum collection and I fix them too. Don't blame me. Don't blame me for collecting vacuums. You must have liked them in the first place. I don't think I'll ever persuade people to. I wouldn't recommend collecting them. They take up too much room. Audrey Forbes Hamilton. I'd have thought you'd want a room to display vacuums. Well, yeah, well, a bigger house, Audrey, you see. Um, I suppose. Well, initially I'm thinking with 500 mil, I would want a house near my mum, um, just so, I can be near my mum as she's getting older. Um, and in that area, there's no huge mansions, I don't think. So, after my mum passes away, I'd probably move and then maybe buy a bigger house. What would be better for me, because I like to keep the vacuums separate from my home. So I'd like a nice house, but then outbuildings, but modern outbuildings that are fully insulated and heated, all fully, water and electric, all that. Um, so yes, I would have a separate outbuilding, 2-story at least, with storage space, display space, a space to make videos, studio space, but basically down the bottom of the garden, so I can keep that part of my life away from the house, which is what I can't do here, which is what I'd like to be able to do. So yeah, that's a dream, I suppose. Um, so I would need a lottery win, I think, or a very rich benefactor, somebody very rich who happened to like my videos, who decided to give me millions and millions of pounds. So if there's anybody out there, rich, we don't have to be famous, anybody out there with lots and lots and lots of money, just donate it to me. I'll be quite happy to take it. Right. Well, hang on. Oh, thanks, Roger. I knew it wasn't the most important thing. Lol, but I had to ask. Well, that's all right. So anyway, go on M&S's website, and if they still sell it, that furniture, they'll have it. It's good. It's solid. It's solid wood. I think mostly. I don't think it's veneered. I think parts might be, but it's good. It comes fully assembled. You don't have to put it together. Um, yeah. Bruce would like a mid-sized boat. Well, why not a big boat? Bruce, think big, Bruce. Don't go for mid. Go for a huge, like, cruiser, and you could have, your own crew, couldn't you? To do all the swabbing the decks, bringing you your drink, a martini or cosmopolitan, whatever you like to drink, making your meals, giving you massages. Um, so all you have to do is just relax. Well, lots of, and well, I'm making assumptions, but I'd probably say lots of maybe muscular men dressed in blue and white stripes to do your bidding on the boat, perhaps. Oh dear. Kieran Turley. Roger, I didn't know you was such an Apple fan. I'd recommend AirPods if you haven't got them, because I have them and they are great, really good for your Apple devices. Well, I wouldn't say I'm a fan of Apple. I have Apple stuff because I've always had Apple stuff. I mentioned earlier. I can't get used to using anything else. Once you get used to a certain way of doing things on computers, you stick with it. I do anyway. Um, I've looked at the AirPods because I'm getting an Apple Watch tomorrow. Since I got a new phone, I thought I might get a watch. So I'm trying just the Series 3 watch, the cheaper one. I want it mainly for sort of monitoring my activity and as a health monitor more than anything. And I know you can connect AirPods. I'm a little bit dubious about Bluetooth. I don't know if it's, I'm not keen on having Bluetooth devices so near my brain. I do have a brain somewhere. I don't know about that technology. I saw in London, a lot of people wearing them. I tend to prefer corded. The last set of headphones I bought, some nice Sony ones. I chose them specifically because they were corded, not cordless, not Bluetooth. Right. When am I going to start decorating? I hope you don't take this in a rude way. Well, I've already decorated my living room woodwork before the new carpet went. I will start decorating when I'm good and ready, which is hopefully soon. Um, I did start getting into decorating. I did all the doors and the woodwork in the living room, and I thought, oh, yes. And then it made me think I want to get more done. But I'm still not 100% well. But yeah, that is this. It'll be this year. I'm planning this year. All the rooms that need decorating will be decorated. Michael Simpson, have you ever owned a Sebo vacuum? Have you seen my vacuum cleaner channel, iBasic? Because if you go to that channel and find the channel page and look at my playlists, you'll see a Sebo vacuum playlist where there are probably about 30 maybe videos on Sebo vacuums. So yes, I have owned a Sebo vacuum, or 50. Dylan, I own a business repairing all Apple devices, and the device I would personally recommend the most is an iPhone 8. Well, that's what I've got. 8 Plus. How's your Roomba? Roomba's fine. I prefer my Neato. Coolio had a knock at the door the other day, so went to answer. There was a woman and a man there, and they said they wanted to talk to me about vacuums. I thought, that's all I need. Another Jehovah's Witness. Can you hear the silence? I'm sure a lot of people are laughing. Yes, that is quite funny. Jehovah's Witness. Oh dear. I saw a very good play about Jehovah's Witnesses called. Oh no, it wasn't Jehovah's Witness. It was Mormons. That was it. The Book of Mormon. Yes. I think it was a factual play. It seemed a bit rude. Yeah, it was very rude. If you're an adult and you're not easily offended and you can see the Book of Mormon at the theatre, then see it because it's very funny. Lulu Pop Davis, my name is Lucy, and I absolutely hate the British weather at the moment, and I wish it would make its mind up. No, I like it. That's the point of living in Britain. The weather changes all the time. Where I live, we can have a different season in one day. I like the way the weather changes. I mean, I'm looking forward to the summer and, exposing some of my pasty skin to a bit of sun to get some vitamin D. But I like the change of seasons. I couldn't live in a country that it's always sunny. I'd hate that. I really would hate that. So, yeah, if you live in England or UK, you have to get used to the fact that the British weather is always changing. Audrey Forbes Hamilton, what's that film where Goldie Hawn... Oh, yes, I do like that one. What's that film where Goldie Hawn falls off a yacht and forgets who she is? Yes, that's one of my favourites as well. I saw that actually in London when it was launched in Leicester Square. That's called Overboard. They did a remake a while ago. I didn't even watch it. Yes, that was quite a funny film. Very far-fetched, but yes, I enjoyed that. Overboard, yeah. A lot of the films I like seem to be from that era. Uh, Mauve. Mauve chalk. I'm fed up with the weather too, Lucy. It's always windy. Oh. Look, I suck, says Sardara Singh. Well, that's not a very nice thing to say, is it? Dearie me, I suck. So what I'll do there to that person, I will... Oh, well, I'll have to go to your channel first. I'll go to your channel. Let's have a look at your channel. Probably haven't... Oh, yes, it's as I thought. Nothing on your channel. But what I'll do, I'll go to the... There we go. Oh, we'll have to do that later. I'll just block you. You thoroughly nasty piece of work. I won't be. I'll block you. Oh, I've blocked you. There we are. Submit, and then I'll just pop over to my other channel just in case, of course, you watch my other channel. I'll just switch my account. Oh, I've gone to. Oh, I'm 70,000 subscribers on my other channel. It's just moved over to 70, and then I'll go there and I'll block you, and then submit that, and then you get no other chance to redeem yourself because I don't put up with it. And I was saying earlier, you won't have been here, about a lady that killed herself, and it has been attributed possibly to some of the trolling she got. And I do not accept or will put up with even "you suck." You could have said far worse, but I would like to say something in retaliation to you, but I will not. I've just blocked you, all right? You've had far too much um, airway. Now, hang on, I've lost where I was now. Thank you very much. I've lost my comments from the nice people. Even that's got me worked up, and it shouldn't. It's a complete random stranger saying something nasty. Karma, karma works. You nasty. Oh no, don't say it, Roger. Try and keep it clean. I've got an image in. I no, I don't even think of that image. Would you say that to my face? Eh? Right. Hang on. Now, I'm sorry about this, folks, because I've lost where my video is now. I shouldn't have gone and I shouldn't have gone to block this person. I should have just made a note. Should have made a note, shouldn't I? Oh, dear me. I don't put up with it. I don't put up. I'm of zero tolerance for anything. People can have opinions, and that's fine. But when it's just something nasty, even if it's as mild as saying "I suck," then it's still not very nice, is it? Oh well, I've got the text back, but it's small now. Oh, so we can blame that nasty person, can't we? Oh dear, I'm gonna have to finish in a minute. That's spoilt it. Right, hang on, back to where I was. Hang on, let's try and get that bigger. There we are. Jake is having a new front door put on Wednesday in a light grey colour. Has much more glass in it. Well, it'll let more light in then, won't it? How's your mum getting on with the Bissell Crosswave? Well, I don't know. She didn't mention it. I assume she's using it. She's not said anything. The Railway Children. Oh, yes, that's another. Yes, yes. A lot of people are saying films. The Railway Children. Daddy, daddy, my daddy. That bit. If you don't get tears in your eyes or blub like a little girl or boy when you see that part of the Railway Children, when the mist separates and a daddy is there. Yeah, that's a nice film as well, isn't it? Find a rich sugar daddy and become his toy boy, says Dan. Well, um, I have a partner. He's not rich, but yes, of course, I would dump him as soon as possible if a sugar daddy came along with lots of money. Yes, I'd have no hesitation. Well, I don't know why that's been held for review, but I've shown it. What's my favourite Dyson vacuum? Says Lulu Pop Davis. I think the Dyson DC-15, I will say that. The first ball. Edgar just recently saw By the Sea with Ronnie Corbett. I think I've seen that a while ago. Isn't that more or less silent, like a silent film? Bruce says, oh, hang on. Look, Garrett, I don't know what. I mean, I've seen this again. I've missed, I've lost. Don't get upset because I don't know what you're commenting. Unless you're commenting something that's being held for review. I don't know what. You're going to have to do it once more because I can't. I keep losing the thread. If you've got a specific question, you'll just say it again, and I'll keep my eyes on the the message feed, but it keeps now it's not on full screen because I've lost it because of that a-hole. There, I've said it. So just say it again, and if it doesn't appear, then it won't. I don't know what it is. It must be a problem your end, right? Oh dear, I don't know why I did this now. See, that's annoyed me now. That's annoyed me. Right, just stop it. Bruce, right, sorry. For having grown up in New York, I always felt that we lived for 12 weeks a year. Eh? Living in Palm Beach, Florida, now I'm very happy. It's always warm. Yeah, you get harsh winters in New York. Right, right. Well, Garrett, I can't. Right, I've read out that last comment. I don't know how many times I've commented, but this is the last time. I've read out your comments before. I don't know what you're trying to say. Right, try it once more, and if you, yeah, I will read it out, providing you've not said anything bad. Well, he's retracted it. Right, I'm looking for the blocked button in a minute. Is it worth it? It's all turned sour, hasn't it? How awful, but says Bruce, I don't know what's wrong with people. Just consider the source and don't take it to heart. They're unhappy with themselves. Can't help it. That's the worst thing about being on YouTube and any social media is the negative and the nasty comments. And I can understand why some people completely give up on it altogether. And that's one thing, yeah. I'll say this. If I was asked what would I do if I had however millions of pounds, I'd come off the internet completely. I'd go completely anonymous. I'd delete everything. I'd go if I had that much money, and I would just be off. So if anyone wants rid of me on social media, 500 mil will do it. Oh dear. Jake Alley has seen the Railway Children in theatre up London. Oh, well, you can't beat the classic film though. That's the proper Railway Children. Audrey always cries when she watches Green Card. Oh, I've heard of that film. Is it with that big-nosed Frenchman? I think I might have watched it. I don't know if I cried. Right. Well, Garrett's there. He's retracted that. So, scrolling up. Right. Please shout us out, Kai and Connor Gaming. It's on your Facebook. I don't have your Facebook, Garrett, do I? I don't know. Oh, do I? I thought you were referring to a message on here. How am I supposed to know? I don't. I tell you what, I get so many messages. I don't. If they're, I often can't. I don't answer them. I don't. I don't on my Instagram. I don't bother answering. I'm on Instagram mostly. I just get too many. It's too overwhelming. Why don't you ask it on here, Garrett, and you'll get a response here? But I'm not on Facebook at the moment, so how can I look at it? I get so many comments on Facebook, I can't answer them all. When is the Q? Oh crikey, I forgot all about that. The Q&A. Oh yeah, on my other channel. Oh, crikey, you've only. I'll try and do it next week. Jacob B, don't you think we should eat the rich? No, I don't. I'm not a socialist. I'm a capitalist. If people have got rich through hard work and effort and doing something good in the world and have not got rich by evil means or stepping on other people, then that's good for them and they deserve it. Um, but I'm not, people make their own fortunes in this world. That's what I think. Hello, Craig's. I saw a video of yours, Craig's Clocks. I know what you look like now. It was on a Miele, wasn't it? A Miele Quick Step. Yes, you are not what I thought you would be. Well, I didn't really have much of an image of what you'd be like. But yes, you're certainly younger looking than I thought from all your comments. I don't know if it's jealousy, Jake Alley, why people are horrible to other people. I do think that people who are trolls aren't happy people. That's the only that's the only thing I get from when people are horrible to me. I have had some vile comments, really nasty. And most of the time I just delete them and block them. I don't even, sometimes I feature them and say, look what this person said. I could get a personal assistant if I won lots of money. I've got one. I wouldn't want someone personally assisting me anyway. I'd rather do it myself. Becca Mad has done 10 loads of washing today. I've done 2 loads. Well, no, Gal, I don't put out an email. I mean, that's my thing. I don't really respond to private questions because I feel if you've got something to say, do it on a public forum. I mean, if it's that private, I don't want to know. I mean, to be honest, I will go and I don't know where you put it on Facebook. If it's on my iBasic page, I'll have to look after the stream. Okay. Edgar's going to bed. Crikey, it's after 10 o'clock. Where's time go? Jake gives money to cancer research and Battersea Dogs Home. Craig says, I hope I did okay on the video. I know I'm not of your quality, but I did try. The only thing, I'm not going to... What I will say, Craig, it's a hint, and it's not like criticising, because I understood everything you were saying in the video and all that. I don't know if you changed the camera much. What I would have liked to see, what I do like to see is if you're making a video explaining something, it's often good to do different shots and do close-up shots of what you're showing. I know a lot of people just stick the camera in one place and just stay still and then do present. And, sometimes you want to see a bit more detail. So that's all I would say. I think from what I remember, it's a few weeks since I saw it. I'm not, as I say, I'm not criticising. I mean, I'm not one to, I don't judge anybody else's. But from personally, when I'm watching a YouTube video, what I do like to see is somebody who's taken the time to at least light the area properly, and at least try and put the camera on a tripod or on a stable surface. But that's it's fine. I mean, you put a video out and that's good. You my early videos are absolutely rubbish, and you need a lot of experience, I find, of doing things and seeing what works. My videos aren't perfect now, so no, I watched all of it anyway. So I didn't. A lot of videos I click on YouTube after about 30 seconds. I think, oh God, no, I can't watch that for various reasons, and don't watch it. Yes, I do still have the questions for the Q&A because they're on under the video on YouTube, Becco Mad. I might not be able to do it this week. I'll do it when I can. I mean, I forgot all about it, to be honest. But You've reminded me, so we'll remember to do it. What's that? All right then, Garrett's giving up if it's not showing. You could have just asked it on here. It can't have been that private. Um, I could have answered whatever you wanted to know straight away. Maeve Chalk, what persuaded you to do your very first video, Roger? Well, on my other channel, I wasn't going to. I just put out some. I started by putting out some old TV commercials uh, of Hoovers that I had in my archive. I don't know. It's probably watching other YouTubers at the time. I didn't. I didn't think I'd get popular. I was quite happy when I got 100 subscribers, and then when I got 1,000, I thought, blimey. Um, I don't know. You just have to take a bit of a leap of faith and just think, right, just do it. Every time, even now, every time I put out a new video, there's always that nervousness. Whenever you put a new video live, you think, oh crikey, what comments am I going to get? Am I going to get some nasty comments? I mean, I used to get really worked up about thumbs down. I don't bother anymore. I'm not bothered. Thumbs down or thumbs up. I prefer thumbs up, but I don't bother myself. I used to get really het up over thumbs down, but you've got to forget that. I always get more thumbs up than down anyway. But yeah, it's sort of. I'm a very shy person, to believe it or not, and yeah, it's very nerve wracking. You put up a new video and you think, oh crikey, perhaps somebody's not going to like what I've said here and blah blah, and I don't know. I just started putting up videos and probably was getting some good comments, and that possibly encouraged me to do more. And often the time I used to put videos up of things that I personally would like to see. You know, I was doing it more for myself and thinking, oh, I'd quite like to see what that looks like. And as I grew my channel, especially my other channel, this channel I'm on now is very small, and it is growing, but it's, you know, it's quite niche. Well, there's not. It's quite my other channel's niche, but the more you do things, and the more you get odd comments that you think, oh yeah, it's worth doing. You know, I've made a difference to somebody. I've persuaded somebody to do something, and I've helped someone with some problem they had just by saying something off the cuff, perhaps, and they've, you know, thought, oh yes. So it's worth it for that. But yeah, I don't know why. Just it just snowballed. You know, just sort of I gained confidence. I think that's what happens. Because I know people that on YouTube that I used to watch in back in the day who never spoke on the videos, just showed you, and they're not very useful to watch unless you don't know the language. And then this person started talking and then became more engaged with the audience, and then it made the videos more interesting. So, yeah, but I'll say to any of you out there who want to put out a YouTube video, just go for it. But you've got to be aware that you might, well, it'll take a while to build up an audience. You could gain 100 subscribers in a month or so if you put out some decent videos. Um, but just be prepared for negativity. It doesn't, I've just, as you saw earlier, I don't deal well with it. But you have to be prepared for it because not everyone is nice in this world, unfortunately. But I'd say the vast majority of people are. So you've got to try and focus on that and not the negative. Mark Robertson, was the ABBA exhibition what was the ABBA exhibition like at the O2? Do you recommend it? Not really. it was all right, and it was an experience, but it was I knew quite a lot about ABBA. You could spend more time. You could spend a lot of time in there because there's a lot to do, interactive things. You wear this headset. You get this thing to wear around your neck. This interactive thing that plays videos, and you can hear commentary. And there's certain things you can interact with. So you could spend a lot more time in there than we did, and it was nice. And at the end, there's a big screen where they show you sort of a sort of mini documentary about ABBA, and there's all these bean bags, and it's quite comical. Two middle-aged men trying to get out of bean bags, but they're very comfy when you're in them. It's getting out of them that's the trouble. And I did like that. And I was thinking of buying something in the gift shop at the end, but it's so expensive, ridiculously expensive. And I thought, oh no, I won't bother. But I enjoyed it as I think you have to be quite a big ABBA fan to go, and I don't think it's that cheap to go. But if you're in London and you like ABBA, then yeah. But don't expect it to be absolutely fantastic. But you can get out of it what you want. As I said, you can spend more time than we spent in there. You don't have a time limit. There's various different rooms you go in, sort of the timeline of ABBA, and all their albums show up. You can listen to all their albums, they come up on the device. You could sit down and listen to each album in turn. You can be in there all day if you wanted to be, or you could be in there an hour or half an hour. So, yeah, if you really like ABBA, then it's worth going, I suppose. Jake Alley, soon I'll be at 1 million subscribers. I don't think so, ever. Just 100,000 on my other channel would be fine. That's all I want. Maeve, Chalk, I much prefer videos such as yours with a personal touch rather than the non-talking ones. So I, for one, very much appreciate them. Well, thank you. You going to have a cuppa? Can we go downstairs to the kitchen? No, I'm not having a coffee this late. It's my bedtime. Will you be uploading this live video? Well, it'll probably be on. Yeah, I can't see why I'll leave it up, I expect. I'll have to double check. I'll probably have to watch it. No, but won't. Probably be viewable later if you want to watch it. Or people who haven't seen it live. No, Becca Mad. I mean, you know what the washer is. It's the AEG one. I'm not going downstairs. I'm going to finish soon. I hope to feature the wash again, but please don't keep asking when I'm doing this, when I'm doing that. Just wait and see, because often I don't know what I'm doing. I do plan to do more washing machine videos at some point. There's so much I need to do. Just subscribe and you'll see what videos come up. That's all I say. What are my opinions on Cher? Says Kieran. Well, I think she's good. Again, I like Cher. I've enjoy some of her films. I've enjoyed. I've got some of her albums. Yes, I wouldn't say I'm a fan, but I like her. And yeah. What can I say? She's looking good for her age, but whether I don't know how much of that is actually real, or how much of it's plastic. You know what I'm saying? Oh dear. Have I got work tomorrow? Says Jake. No, I'd be asleep if I had work tomorrow. Well, I'd be in my Jimmy Jams. Craig's Clocks. I am reading some of the comments about negative people. I don't do the negative road of life. I hang around people that tend to make me laugh or know how to be uplifting. Don't waste your time. Well, there are certain people that drain, don't they? They're very draining. I've known people like that have been very draining. They seem to sort of, just being near them, and it saps your life force. And I don't tend to like negative people. Um, I've no yeah, I've no time for I like people that are fun, and I tend to sort of be attracted to people that are a little bit different. I probably wouldn't be the sort that hangs out with the popular kids, at school. I mean, I was probably considered a bit of a weirdo. Um, but yeah, I think everyone finds, I think when you meet people, if you're going to get on with them, you sort of know more or less straight away. I find there's certain people you gel with, and there's certain people that you just recoil, and you don't know why, but you think, oh, I don't like them. And I find that watching YouTube, I can start watching a YouTube video, a completely new channel, and I've said before, I don't tend to watch many vacuum cleaner channels on YouTube. I tend to watch many other things, many different subjects, and I tend to start watching, and it can be within 30 seconds. And even though I may be interested in a subject, there's sometimes I just click the off and think, oh God, no, I can't watch you. So Craig, when I started watching your video, I I watched it to the end. So yes, I didn't think, oh no, I can't watch him. No, so you did well there. You didn't make me recoil. So yeah, I'll have to check out to see what else you've. I think your partner's done some videos as well. So I'll see if you've got anything new. In fact, I'll have to subscribe. I didn't click on the subscribe button, so I will do, Greg, um, when I've finished here. Why do modern washing machines not have a 50-degree wash? Says Jake. Well, mine does. My AEG does, and I used that today actually. 50. Sometimes I like a 50 wash because 40 doesn't seem hot enough, and 60 is too hot. So a 50 wash, So I washed mainly sort of pants, socks, and the t-shirts I wear underneath my clothes, and did all those on a 50 today. That's fascinating, isn't it? Good night, Audrey. Hope your new phone works. Well, it's still here working. Cher or Madonna? Um, hang on. They're okay. They're both okay. I've got probably more Madonna albums than Cher, but I didn't like. I saw Madonna fairly recently, and I think she's gone a bit, bit odd. Started getting into Madonna when she did her Like a Prayer album. That was the first Madonna CD I bought, and then I bought a few others. Again, I'm not huge fans of either. I like them. I've got some of their CDs. But yeah, Coolio, because not so many clothes have a maximum of 50 degrees, hence not so much needed to have a 50. I did miss having 50-degree program on. I think it was a Bosch I had. Didn't have a 50. I did miss. I do like dude 50. I haven't used the Giantex washer in the caravan. It's currently in the garage. Have you heard Cher's ABBA? I did listen to that on Amazon Prime, I think, some of it. It was okay. I did quite enjoy seeing Cher in Mamma Mia. Here we go again. Oh, funny. Cher has got a twin sister, Cher and Cher alike. James West, can I please buy your Henry Hound? Well, if I ever get to 100,000 subscribers, I have two Henry Hounds that have a USA plug on and will work in the USA. If I get to 100,000 subscribers, I'll be doing a prize draw, and one of the prizes will be one of those Henry Hounds. That's why I bought them both, because I did think back in the day, I thought, well, if I ever get 100,000, I will do that. To celebrate that, I'll do that as a prize draw. So you can't buy it, I'm afraid, because I've only got two. I'm keeping one, and the other will be in a prize draw if I get to 100,000. So you'll have to enter that. Garrett was never popular. I thought I would be when I got my 1956 Oldsmobile, but I didn't get it until I graduated. Why would I assume that's a car? Why would you think that having a certain car would make you popular? Uh, Anyone who likes you for what you have or what you can give them, what you own, or they're not your true friends. People that like you for you, warts and all, they're the people you need to, hold on to them. But to try and be popular, and obviously some people do. Um, they think of they've got this car, or they've got this consumer item, they wear certain clothes, they act a certain way, they'll get people sort of liking them. This happens on social media as well. Um, but that's not proper friendship. So true friends are people who see you for who you are, warts and all, don't care if you don't have much money, don't care if you drive a beat up car that's rusted, don't care if you live in a rough area of town, you know, um, because all these things are, they're just material. And this comes from a very materialistic person, but uh, material things do not make a person. And people that try and boost, there are certain people that try and show their personality by what they own, and they're, that you can't. But your true personality comes from in here, um, and it's your actions, not your possessions. So, right, Coolio. Oh, right. Well, I won't read that. I think that's the conversation about the temperatures on a washing machine. So I don't think a lot of people will be interested. I think there's a little bit of a conversation going on there. But yes, I do like a 50-degree wash. Oh, thank you, Krusty Connor. Um, Vogue by Madonna. Yes, I've got a Hoover Vogue, and I often think of that song when I'm using it. Never see hover demos now. Well, Bill, you will be seeing some vacuum cleaner demos when I've sorted myself out. I've now got new carpet. I will start doing those old sort of demos. There are other channels doing demos, um, and watch them. But I will be doing more demos. So Krusty's watched me since he was 6. Mm. Well, you're still very young then. Right, I think it's time to wind things up, don't you? Because I never thought I'd be on for this long. Just oh right, here we are. Craig. Wow, thank you, Roger. You just made my day. I had a long day taking care of the elderly, and this was a happy ending. Well, that's very good. Well, I'm glad I made your day, Craig. And it's good that you have. I'm assuming that's your job. Um, but it's nice that you have a job. I'm sure it's a very rewarding job, but also probably quite a sad job as well. If you're taking care of elderly people, I expect you've taken care of elderly people who have died. But um, if that is your job, at least you're doing something that's worthwhile, and I think that is a very worthwhile thing. I mean, my partner Mark is in a caring profession, but he's more in the management side now. But he did start. He's done many things, but then he started on the nursing side, and he became a nurse, and then he went into occupational therapy and other things. So he's wanting to get more into the hands-on. So he's a caring person. So that is, I'm in a very boring job, so it doesn't make any difference. But to be able to care for people, whether they're elderly or very young, ill, or people with mental health issues, whatever. I think that must be quite rewarding, despite the fact that I'm sure it is quite stressful sometimes and quite upsetting as well. But yeah, good on you, Craig. Right, goodbye, Jake. Goodbye. I can't pronounce that. Is it Kai Gaming or Kaya Gaming? And Maeve is off because she's up at 5:30. So good night to. Oh, it's Mauve. Is it Mauve? Oh, it's Mauve Chore. I've been saying Maeve. Sorry, it's Mauve. Or is it Maeve? No, I don't think spell Maeve that way. It's Mauve. Oh dear. Good night. Anyway, Bruce, Bill, Connor, Roger's been under the weather for a few weeks, so he hasn't been able to post new videos. I have put a new video up actually, but it's only an unboxing, Bruce. But yeah, I do know that I need to get back into the reviews. I don't need telling. I know what I'm doing. But anyway, I will be doing them more. So that's it. So goodbye, Jake. Goodbye, Coolio. Oops, hang on. It's Mauve. Hang on. I've lost it again. It's a he, lol. I've been calling you Maeve and thinking you called Mavis. Sorry. Mauve chalk. Deary me. Put my foot in it. Craig says, elder care is my profession. My husband, oops, is I don't know how to pronounce that. Episcopal, is that right? Priest. So it goes hand in hand. We work well together. So Craig, you care for people physically, hopefully, and emotionally, and your husband cares for their cares for their soul. So you do the body and mind, and your husband does the soul. Yes, that does work. Well, that's lovely. Good night, Max. Good night, Bruce. Good night, Mr. Comickey. Good night, Garrett. It's only 5:30 in Ohio. Mauve chalk, not Maeve. You should have corrected me. Should have corrected me before. Oh, Craig is just saying exactly. Oh dear. Right. Krusty Connor, I'll show it's been held for review. Wants to. Can you subscribe to Kai and Connor Gaining? It would really support me. Well, go on, click on his channel and subscribe if you want to see, assuming he has gaming videos. Right, that's it then. And Becca Mad is getting a Stove's dual fuel cooker. Well, I hope it's better than my mum's Stove's one, which she always needs fixing. Craig says, have a good evening all. Be safe. From Ocean City, Maryland, USA. Out. Right, I'll leave the last word to Craig. Thanks for watching this impromptu doobry. And I don't know how to turn this off, but I think I need to press this button. So good night, and I'll see you all very soon.